Welcome back to another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. I'm your host, Damon K. Jones, joined by my brother, A.J. Woodson, and bringing that fresh perspective, Larnaz Kinsey. Every Sunday, we pull back the curtain on the issues shaping our families, our cities, and our future, from health and safety to policy and power. It's because our mission is simple. Put the people first, not the politics. It's going to be Blacktastic. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black America, rep the movement. Get your official Black Westchester merch today. Hoodies, tees, and more at blackwestchestermerch.shop. Wear your voice, make a statement. Damon K. Jones exposes the lies and challenges the gatekeepers in Black politics in his powerful book, Emotional Politics and Logical Failure. Black America needs fewer emotions and more outcomes. Our communities deserve better. On sale now, get the book or audiobook on Amazon. From the streets of Westchester to the heart of hip-hop, discover A.J. Woodson's powerful collection. Black Westchester, the origin story. We got our own thing. Hip-hop from the 9, 1, 4, and Black Westchester celebrate Black women of Westchester. Available now at blackwestchester.com and on Amazon. Get your copies today. Tolerance is for Cowards by Damon K. Jones. This book is not anti-police. It's pro-community. Discover how the extended policing strategy empowers you to demand real public safety, justice, and accountability from your local police department. Because the Black community deserves good policing. On sale now on Amazon and Audible. Discover Jesus and Divine Black Masculinity by Damon K. Jones. This a bold blueprint to restore faith, manhood, and purpose in Black America. Because the Black community needs good Black men. Available now on Amazon. If you got a sweet tooth, come to Cupcake Cutie Boutique in Mount Vernon, where every day is a reason to celebrate. Fresh homemade cupcakes baked with love. Stop by 8 South 6th Avenue and taste the cuteness today. So put a thumbs up in the chat if you could hear me. If you can hear me, please put a thumbs up in the chat. I hope people can hear me. It said I could. I can. Let me check it out. Oh, there you go. Okay, great. Thank you. So we were discussing. I was discussing by myself about Nick Cannon and the controversy around what he said, and I think we need to have real conversations about what he said. He spoke out of he just spoke a little bit out of context. He said the Democratic Party is the party of KKK. So I'm going to change what he said and say the Democratic Party is the party that started the KKK. You know, they are the ones who started the KKK. It's a historical fact. Like, let's not argue around historical facts. Yes, the Democratic Party did start the KKK. And the KKK was started by Southern Democrats, or you might want to call them Dixiecrats, right? They started to intimidate Black Republicans. Those are the facts. Those are the historical facts. Because when Black people were first elected, yeah, see? Well, we know they started them, right? But the first Black elected officials, they weren't Democrats, they were Republicans. They were actually Republicans. Now, I'm not getting into what y'all talking about today. We're talking history. Let's not get it twisted. I don't want nobody that's watching to get it twisted and start leaving comments about Trump and leaving comments about whatever's going on today. We're talking history. Let's have a conversation about history first. So these Black Republicans, right? They were Hiram Revels, Blanche Bruce, Robert Smalls. And they were actually historical fact. Let's not get it twisted in today's politics. Let's stick with historical facts. They were actually the ones fighting for civil rights, the Black Republicans. They were actually the ones who started the fight for reparations and pensions for the slaves, for the former slaves. They were the ones that was fighting for that. Right. The Southern strategy. Absolutely. But we're going to stick before that because that's the conversation. That's the conversation. And then the New Deal and then different policies that Black people switched over to the Democratic Party. Right? But before the Southern strategy, before the New Deal, Black men and women were holding position. Well, Black men, mostly Black men, were holding positions in government as Republicans and fought for reparations, fought for pensions for the slaves. These are the actual facts. Now, don't get in your feelings, Black folks, when you hear Republicans. Don't get in your feelings now. And one of the strongest Black woman Republican at that time, her name was Callie House. and she led the ex-slave pension movement, petitioning Congress for federal pensions modeled after those paid like Civil War veterans. These were black people. These were black people. These were black people. So are you going to tell me, those who want to argue about history, as a black man and woman, we're supposed to erase that? We're supposed to erase that history just because a name, Republican? Is that what we are supposed to do as educated black people? See, and even some black Republicans don't even understand their own history in the Republican Party. Because you got some of these foolish Negroes on social media, on their little podcast shows, talking about black people don't deserve reparations. Well, it was the black Republicans that were fighting for it first. But you got what? Anton, whatever that fool name, and all these other Negroes talking about, oh, well, black people shouldn't get reparations. Then tell it to your ancestors that was in the Republican Party. Because they were the ones that did it first. And we're supposed to erase all that history. We're supposed to forget all that history. Just because some foolish, educated Negro paid by the Democratic Party or white liberals tell us to forget that history. How do we end up here, black people? How do we end up in these positions where we discount our own just because of a label, and we continue to politically gangbang, loyal to a party and not our people? We worked hard to get who? The first black president elected? Barack Obama, for 2 terms. He had control of the House and the Senate the first 2 years. We didn't even get an executive order on reparations. Not even an executive order. We didn't even get him to acknowledge reparations. But yet we're supposed to dismiss the early black Republicans that fought for pensions and reparations for the free slaves. Said that the free slaves should get the same type of pension as a Civil War veteran. We're supposed to forget about that just because it's a label on it. And we give 90% of our vote to one party, and then we get Wes Moore, the Maryland governor. He vetoes a legislation on reparations, and the only thing they were asking is to study it, see what role Maryland played in it, how much, put a price tag to it, and give an apology, and this Negro vetoed it. Anton Daniels is not from the soil. Exactly. I mean, the black community is the only race that isn't allowed to build power across politics. Yeah, well, we're Paul, because if you talk about that, Paul, they'll shun you. Like they try to do me. Like they try to do me. Because I hold the Democratic Party accountable. People don't want to come on the show. So yeah, that's the game.
That's the game. But that just weakens who we are as a people. It weakens who we are as a people. We're the only ethnic group that gives 90% of our vote to one party. And listen, I'm not telling people to go to the Republican Party. I'm just giving the numbers. So what is the return? What is the trade-off? If you're giving 90% of your vote to one party, what have you gotten when you couldn't even get an executive order to recognize reparations? Well, the history is not really taught, but it's not up to the oppressor to teach us our history. That's where agenda is important. Absolutely. But where's the Black agenda? That's the next question. Where's the Black agenda? You could go on the Congressional Black Caucus website. There's no Black agenda. You could go to NAACP website. There's no Black agenda. You could go to the Urban League website. There's no Black agenda. You could go to the National Black Mayors Association. There's no Black agenda. There's nothing on there recognizing reparations for Black people. You could go to the National Action Network website. No Black agenda. Nothing demanding reparations for Black people. So where do you go? Where do you go? There's no national organization at that size that are demanding reparations. And doggone Mandami, when he was sworn in, had the nerve to say that the city was built by immigrants. That is a lie. That is a quote lie. The city was built off the back of enslaved Africans. See, they have put the immigrant agenda over the Black agenda. Let's just be honest about it, and let's just have a real conversation about it. That's what they did. And Negroes are just following along. I wish I had that video. I wish I still had that video to show y'all today, because I did a whole show on our Black struggle. You could go to YouTube and check it out. But if I would have known I was going to get into this conversation, I would have definitely put up this video. Here we go. I want y'all to check this out. I want y'all to.
Provocative comment in your new book here, Mugged. And I think it's on page 151. You write that various groups, feminists, gay rights groups, and those who are defending immigrants have commandeered the Black civil rights experience. Yes. What do you mean by that?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that, because I think it's one of the most important points of the book. I mean, I think the way liberals have treated Blacks like children, and many of their policies have been harmful to Blacks. At least they got the beneficiary group right. We do have to, I mean, we shouldn't. There is the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow laws. We don't owe the homeless. We don't owe feminists. We don't owe women who are desirous of having abortions, but or gays who want to get married to one another. That's what civil rights has become for much of the left. They dropped the Blacks after 5 minutes.
Immigrant rights are not civil rights?
No, I think civil rights are for blacks.
See, this is essentially the problem, and the Republicans
What did,
don't,
wait,
don't
can I just
understand.
say, what have we done to the immigrants? We owe black people something. We have a legacy of slavery. Immigrants haven't even been in this country.
But you see, most of us are either immigrants or are the descendants of immigrants, and
Well,
we
everybody
understand
is.
that not everybody. There are Native Americans there, but we understand in this
immigrated
country.
from another
We
continent.
understand in this country that kind of self-deportation, making things so difficult for immigrants, for undocumented immigrants, that they have to leave, or the DREAM Act, vetoing, threatening to veto the DREAM Act, which is what Romney has said. I mean, and again, we have Governor Romney, who is basically taking a.
So I'm going to bring my brother in. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Now I got to equal it out. Hey, what's up, AJ?
What's up?
All right. So let me finish what I was saying. So did y'all hear this dude? He just disrespected our struggle. He didn't even acknowledge what Ann Coulter was saying. He said, because the country is mostly immigrants. Really? Jewish people is only 2% of the country. But they get more benefits than black people. Now, see, a lot of y'all don't believe, if you don't believe me, I guess you believe a white woman when she said that civil rights were for black people. Then they just took it and put everybody underneath the umbrella while we still are struggling. And I don't know how else to make it plain. Exactly, brother Erwin. What's up, brother? We're estimated to spend over $2 trillion in 2026. And we don't even have a black media company. 45 million people. 45 million people. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It says it expected we reach nearly 2 trillion by the end of 2025 and continue growing to 2.5 trillion by 2030.
Well, hey, listen. And we don't have a media company. We don't have one black TV channel. And they always want to put, oh, this is the millionaire here. This is the millionaire there. Oh, look, this guy got on Forbes. He got on, yeah, they got there working for white companies. Listen, we don't have no major TV station. It's over. Tyler Perry sold his little half of BET Plus. It's over. It's over. So we don't have it. I don't like. What are we going to do? And then do we understand that jobs and employment is tied to us not having businesses? Because every ethnic group employs themselves except black people. We go to every other ethnic group for employment with our doctor degrees. Then y'all get mad at Trump when he said black jobs. Well, if you didn't have a black job, then why did you get mad when DEI got canceled? Nope, there go your black jobs. So, like, we have to stop being hypocritical to ourselves. When we have the power, like Brother Irwin said. Exactly. I've never heard the urban zone. I don't even know what that is.
So Radio One and TV One is owned by Urban One, the largest Black-owned diversified multimedia company in the United States. She was started by Kathy Hughes in 1980.
Where is it?
Throughout, it's Radio One and TV One is throughout the is nationwide.
I ain't even seen the app. I'm great. I'm gotta find my remote, see if I can get a TV One app on my Roku TV. I ain't even seen that.
Yeah, Urban One, formerly known as Radio One, and includes TV One, Radio One, 50 radio stations, Clio TV, and I1 Digital.
Okay, so we got one. Well, you know what? I think we was taught, but we didn't want to listen. We was told not to listen to the people that was trying to tell us. Marcus Garvey, Elijah Muhammad. There was many people that told us to do for self, create our own black economy. We had it. And then integration, we wanted to be close to the white man. We left all our black businesses alone because the white man's business was better. I just did oh man, I wish I could hold the book. I just did a whole book on the black economy. From 1800 to 1965. We had our own economy. We had our own economy. We didn't need, and now I'm trying to be racist. We didn't need white folks. Other than to do righteous trade. You got this, I got that. You give me money for this, I give you money for that. Just like the Asians do, just like the Italians do now, just like the Irish do now. What happened? We gave it all away. There's an old video of Malcolm when he was talking about it and the spending power of black people at that time. So it had to be what? 61, 62. Now I think Malcolm was killed in 63. So at that time, the spending power was $20 million. Now, shit, we over $2 trillion, and we still in the same place that we were back then. Hey, what's up, brother Kenyatta? Yep.
Oh, sorry, he died February 21st, 1965.
All right. Yeah, brother, it's time for action. But it seems like the whole bunch of Negroes keep distracting. It's a lot of distraction going on. You still have mostly black business districts. There was a case in neighborhoods. Yeah, I mean, there's pockets. You know, I'm not saying there's no black businesses, but there's pockets. But we still have to create those type of institutions. We have to create those type of institutions. I mean, we have a few black hotels. Absolutely. We, you know, a black airline, a national black gas station. Yes, we all have to reprogram our thinking. We all have to reprogram our thinking some way or another. Because if we don't, we're going to, listen, if you don't want to do it for yourselves, do it for your grandchildren. Do it for your children. Do it for your children. What's that scripture in the Bible, right? You prepare for your children's children to make them straight. I'm paraphrasing. Like that should be the first thing that we think about every day. See, my whole financial thing today is I'm not even preparing for myself. I'm preparing to make sure these 20 years I got left or whatever, that I'm preparing to make sure my grandchildren is set. Yes, we also have to do it. But hey, Kenyatta, let me ask you a question. Like, what is the HBCUs doing? Like before segregation, the HBCUs was building people to go out and build institutions for the black community because they couldn't go with the white businesses and the white community. Now it seems like they're building, the only doing is educating black folks to go work in white companies. And then that creates the paradox that Carter G. Woodson was talking about in The Miseducation of the Negro. And I suggest everybody get that book. See, we like to quote Carter G. Woodson because he started Black History Week and turned into Black History Month. But the same educated elite black folks don't want to quote what he wrote in The Miseducation of the Negroes about the educated elite. So we have to, listen, man, let me go to the next one. So it's tied into, we need this bad. I get pockets of information. Yes. We're going to go into, a lot of people are outraged about, hold on a second. I gotta set this up again. I ain't know when y'all guys was coming in. Let me fix this up. A lot of people, oh, I could just do this one. A lot of people were outraged about the U.S. voting no on the transatlantic slave trade. And here's something.
To us, it is clear that even if we gave them 50 years,
hold on,
they would say that the time is not enough.
Hold on, let me start from the beginning.
Against the resolution was the United States. Were you disappointed by that vote?
So I would like to comment on the reasons they gave. They sought to create the impression that the time for negotiations have been short. The president of Ghana served notice last year in September. Immediately thereafter, we put together a broad-based coalition, including experts, academics, researchers, historians from all regions of the world. And we commenced negotiations. We allocated 3 hours, twice the time, and had multiple rounds of negotiations. So there are some that to us, it is clear that even if we gave them 50 years, they would say that the time is not enough. Secondly, the claim they have made that we are seeking to create a hierarchy of crimes. We have stated clearly that it is not about hierarchy. We are only speaking to a historical fact. Never in the history of mankind have we had such a systemic crime. We took over 3 centuries, more than 300 years, with its consequences still lingering unto this day, manifesting in racism, in structural inequality. What is fundamental, which nobody can deny, is that more than 12.5 million people were forcibly removed from the continent. More than 3 million people died, were tossed into the transatlantic ocean, which is a mass grave site. And in our country, Ghana, the country with the highest number of slave forts and castles, we are living witnesses on a daily basis when we go into those castles and forts and we see the door of no return. We break down.
One of the key reasons raised by the United States for which reason they are abstaining is the lack of clarity on who is the recipient of the reparatory justice. What is your response to that?
It's surprising. In this resolution, talked about frameworks which will put in place that will take care of the consequences, the lack of opportunity, discrimination, the degradation of people of color. And we have made clear that African leaders or Caribbean leaders are not looking for money. It goes against our conscience to seek to profit from this. We are talking about courses to deal with the structural inequalities. And we are also talking about the return of artifacts. There are thousands of artifacts from Egypt all the way to the Ashanti Kingdom in Ghana. Again, it is totally wrong for a claim to be made that there is no clarity about who benefits from reparatory justice.
So how do you expect the United States to vote for something when we don't push it on a local level?
The United States is never going to vote for anything like that.
But that wasn't my question. My question was, how do you think they vote for anything, but we're not pushing it on a local level?
But to vote for it is to admit they're part in it.
Okay, well, to pass laws, to pass reparation bills is to admit that they had a part of it too.
And they're not going to do that.
Wait, hold on. Like I said earlier, where is the Congressional Black Caucus agenda on reparations? Where is the NAACP agenda on reparations? Where's the Urban League? Where's the National Action Network? Where are they? Where's the Black Mayors Association on reparations for Black people? Where are they? See, I don't expect the United States to vote on anything when nothing is being passed locally. You couldn't even get the Maryland mayor just to vote on to study Maryland's role in slavery and apology, a Black man, and giving us the bullshit talking about, oh well, we ain't. That's that Jay-Z we passed kneeling bullshit. No, we're not past it. Black people are still getting shot and killed by police. So Jay-Z saying that bullshit, we ain't past it. So when you got your own Black elected officials that don't want to pass reparations just to study it, at least study it. We can't even get that. We know it, but we can't even get that. What happened to the first Black president? Barack Obama. Where's the executive order? Even if they didn't pass a law, why not pass an executive order? He did it for everybody else. Everybody else got some protections. Asians, everybody else got protections under Barack Obama. No, I don't. Listen, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I have to disagree with that. Because if we don't have our elected officials, Joshua, in the United States, then somebody has to be the voice for reparations. And yes, Ghana did suffer a lot through the slave trades. That was the ports. Those were the ports in Ghana. that brought Africans over here. Yes, they do have a right. I believe they do have a right. And thank God at least they're doing it. Ask a black elected official over here in the United States on reparations.
So you said Ghana has a right to reparations from who?
No, they have a right to argue it. Maybe they're arguing from the England. I don't know. Look, my history, I just know they were ports over there. Because when you go to Ghana and you go on a trip, they take you to the forts. They take you to where they held the slaves. The door, I think, is the door of no return, where they held the slaves and put them on the slave ships. You take a tour. Matter of fact, Sharifa's husband does the tour. Gohain. He does the tour in Ghana. And everybody that went there ended up in tears. So yeah, they do have a part in the slave trade. Absolutely.
So there's many levels of this. In America, American descendants of slavery, the argument is they should get reparations from America. Other nations arguing reparations.
I think they're arguing to acknowledge it, and they're arguing what slavery did on the worldwide.
Well,
That's not my argument. That's not, I'm only arguing reparations from America.
Okay, so United Nations, since you was talking about the video, the United Nations General Assembly, they backed a resolution declaring the transatlantic slave trade the gravest crime amongst humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That is what he's talking about.
Right.
The wealthiest of these Western nations were built on stolen land and stolen labor. The resolution was backed by African and Caribbean countries.
No, Joshua, I think you got it. I think you got it twisted. They're not fighting for us. My point was, thank God somebody's saying something. The African countries were affected by the transatlantic slave trade. It is what it is. My question is, who do we have over here for our share? That's my point.
Right. I was just saying that, but those are not.
No, I wasn't trying to connect it. My point was,
no, that's why, because when you showed the video, I was addressing the video.
Right.
Now, we're talking about American reparations.
Well, what about Ghana? And that's when he spoke. No, Ghana was affected too. We have the ports. We have where they drawed that. We have when they dragged all the slaves and they put them in the thing. Dude, I saw the pictures. You can pull the pictures up. It's insane. And just to be there and know that they crammed all these Africans in one room, they had them wait for the boat. That's insane. But let's not get it twisted. Ghana has a right to fight for whatever they're fighting for. My question is, who was fighting for us in the United States when we vote for these black elected officials to address reparations from the United States?
Yeah, I got you, and I'm addressing some of the comments. There are two different issues.
Yeah,
you're having two different conversations. You kind of did mix up two different conversations. What they were voting on was on an international level,
right?
And what you're questioning is a national level, and that's why people are saying stuff about Africa and Caribbean nations and stuff. You're kind of combining the issues.
No, people are voting because the U.S. voted no. My response to that is, if you're not fighting for for reparations and the recognition of what the United States did to Black Americans, freed the slaves. The policy doesn't go upward so they can even recognize it. They don't even we're not even creating laws as Black people to recognize what they did in our country.
Right. So when I first started, I was addressing just the video. So
right.
The resolution was adopted by 123 votes to 3, while 52 countries, including the UK and the EU member states, abstained. The United States, Argentina, and Israel voted against it. And what I started out saying, these countries that benefited for this greatly and build wealth on it are never going to vote for this, because then they have to admit the guilt and the part that they played, and then going to now what Damon is talking about. Once you vote for it and you admit it, you open yourself up for the payment of reparations for it. So they're not going to vote for it because they benefited greatly. With, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to.
No, I get that.
No. I'm explaining it too. I'm reading the comments. So I'm explaining from the video you showed to what you're saying in the link in between why they're never going to vote for it. And that's, and then on top of that, now going to what Damon says, you have international countries speaking up against slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, and for reparations. Where are our Black leaders in on this? And this, again, like I said, it wasn't a straight line from what you started to where you got to. There was in between stuff that you left out. But getting to what you said, yes, where is the Black Congressional Caucus?
And that's my point from the beginning.
Leadership? Where is all our Black, no one's going to do for you. No one's going to fight for something for you that you are not fighting for yourself. No one's just going to give any rights that we have gotten from the days of slavery to now. No one just gave it to us. Hey, you know what? It's the right thing to do. Give it to these guys. People fought and got killed and all kinds of stuff to get these things. And when it comes to reparations, there's never a point where they're just going to give us that because it's the right thing to do. If we're not fighting for it and ready to put our life on the line for it and do whatever we need to do to get it, no one's going to just give it to us. So I really don't see it happening. They can't even, and Black people can't even agree on who should receive reparations. There's an argument that American descendants of slavery, meaning that your ancestors were slavery, you were here, they were slaves, and you are a descendant of that. Other people think all Black people, which would be people that just came over here from the Caribbean and Africa, and some people feel like they should not get reparations from America because they should get, if they're going to get reparations, they get reparations from the countries they're descendants of, where their families were
well, they would have to get reparations from France.
Right.
See,
so there's
you have to look for France. We're talking about American slaves.
Right.
Period.
Right.
That's not what
the vote was for, though. That's what I'm saying. You show the video.
Right. No. The vote is transatlantic slave, right? That's a whole different thing. Right. Because when you're talking about the transatlantic slave trade, you're talking about coming from Africa, going down through Haiti, coming all the way up there, and all that other stuff. That's the transatlantic slave trade. I'm talking about reparations for slaves that were in America. Because we're descendants of those, right? We're descendants for those. And like I said earlier, the reparations movement, it's gonna hurt some people's feelings, was started by Black Republicans. Because they were the first ones to be elected officials. Black Republicans, not Black Democrats. They fought for pensions, that the slaves should get the same pensions as the Civil War soldiers. They're the ones that put on the whole 40 acres and the mule. These are facts. Wrote a whole article on it. Got the whole article on it. So when we talk about these things, and I say that to say even some Black Republicans are misinformed when you talk about reparations, because they try to make it a liberal issue. And that's how our fight has been taken away from us by white liberals. Because some confused Negroes that are Black Republicans don't even know it was the Black Republicans that started the whole reparations discussion anyway. No, we didn't get that. They jerked us on that.
And the ones that got anything close to that, they got to take it from them. So they got to take it from them.
But at the end of the day, what are we voting for? What are we voting for? What is our agenda?
Who entered the studio?
Oh, she's coming on to talk about Shanice won't be on, so Amelita, Martha, right? Oh, it's 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's almost that time.
Almost.
Yep. So we're gonna let me set up the studio.
So yeah, while you're talking about, so just finishing that, like I said, we can't even come to an agreement on at what one, who gets the reparations, and two, what reparations looks like. We can't even get together to and as long as we can't do those two things, no one's going to give us. There's no chance of getting it.
Well, first you have to have it. First, you have to have an agenda. We can't even get bro. You can't even get an agenda.
Yeah, you're saying the same thing. That would be included in the agenda. Yeah.
You can't even get an agenda. No, whether the reparations will be through education, through programs, through no taxes, right? Whatever the understanding, it should be UK based.
We're talking about reparations in the United States amongst Black people.
This channel is called Black Westchester. This should be UK based. Wow, you like it? Well, thank you, brother. I guess you like it. I'm not sure.
I don't think that's a compliment.
Well, why would it be UK based? I don't understand. That don't make any sense.
Whatever he's saying, we're speaking something that I don't know. I don't think that's a compliment. You have to explain that to me because
I don't know what you're talking about. It being UK based.
So yeah, so for those things, we can continue this conversation on and on and on, but it's we have to come together on our own to we don't, like you said, we don't have an agenda. We can't agree on who receives reparations. We can't agree on what reparations even look like. And lastly, as long as we have people amongst us that allow themselves to get bought off and sold out and then become gatekeepers and carry the water. This channel is not based on United Kingdom affairs. No, this is Black Westchester. We're talking about reparations and slavery in the United States, reparations to the American descendants of slavery. So no, I'm not sure, but we thank you for tuning in. Unless you're saying your channel is based on UK affairs.
No FBA convo.
I don't know.
The homie in black eat what? All right. You know what?
So wait. I don't know if that's a joke because yes, I was in London performing, and I did do a London cab interview, and they did give us that. Like that was part of the whole thing, like the whole tea, and we had no crumpets though because you didn't have crumpets. But yeah, but yeah, that was something I did in a cab interview with All City Steve. But if that's not what you're talking about, then I have no idea. But yeah, I was in London in September.
All right. Well, we're gonna go. We're gonna. Huh?
I said hello to our guests.
Yes. Hello. We're gonna move forward because this is gonna be. I believe. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me get back to the screen. Jesus, I'm doing too much. Yes, Carmelita, how are you doing? Thank you for coming on the show. I'm great. I'm good. Now you're part of the group with Shanice Coleman. She said she couldn't. She texted me, said she couldn't come on. Her mother's in the ER. We're gonna pray for Shanice's moms. But y'all guys are doing a one-night sleep out.
It's gonna be our second night, but we've done it before already.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think she invited me. She invited me. I'm like, nah, I'm good. But tell us about the sleep out and the awareness that you're trying to bring for people.
First, I want to thank God for just giving me this opportunity to, and I'm just grateful to be here on this live stream. Thank you so much, and for you allowing us to be here as well. So honestly, it's the reason we do this is to support the young people who have experienced homelessness. So many of them, they're going through things that we're never going to fully understand, and they deserve to feel seen and supported and and loved, because there isn't enough funding to keep these places going, and so much are out there, and these are our future. These are the future generation, and we have to show them that we support them and we care about them, and we're here for them to get them to to keep places like the Covenant House open for them to have a safe place to sleep at in the nighttime.
Right.
We're going to go backwards. So how you doing? Tell everybody who you are, who you with, and what you're working on. David just threw you out there, no introduction, no nothing. So
it's okay. So my name is Carmelita Matura. I am the program coordinator at the Lilac House, and I met Shanice through the Lilac House, where a house for formerly incarcerated ladies and those that are at risk that are coming home. And what we do is we try to get them on their feet, get them into that space so they could re-enter back into society as positive individuals. We do pre and post release, and we're also doing workshops co-ed out in the community as well. We're doing some of the mandated workshops that parole wants individuals have to do. So we're definitely a mandated program for them too as well, but at a softer version versus them having it at parole.
Right. How long have you been doing this, and how did you get into this?
So I've been at the Lilac House now going on 2 years. How long have I been doing this type of work? I've been doing this type of work now for about 12 years. I was formerly incarcerated myself. And I came home and decided this is what I wanted to do. Furthermore, I received my education in prison, and I was able to come home and utilize that education that I received. And I know about my niche. This is what I want to do. Just aligning everything with God's work. That's where I'm at.
Right. That's great. And who came?
Question: what does that mean by mandated programs? That's a question from the audience.
So when you first come home from prison, you're mandated to you have to do like anger management, life skills workshops, and it's usually in a span of 26 weeks. We offer it to the individuals that are just coming home. We do it in 6 weeks, and we lighten the load on them by providing like a Metro card to them, and also we provide dinner in the evenings, and we have deeper conversations. So it makes a big difference.
Okay. So it's an alternative to like kind of being in a halfway house. Like you would be some people come out and they go in the halfway house and they have to do all that before they get fully released. Is that this would be like
That
an
is
alternative
correct.
to that?
That's correct. And even when they go to the halfway house, once they leave the halfway house and they're in a permanent space, they still have to redo some of those programs.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. We have another guest. Introduce yourself.
Yes, hello, good evening. My name
Good
is
evening.
Rita Pfeiffer, and I am an affiliate with Carmelita Matura and can attest to the marvelous work that she does, straight from the heart. It's been a privilege assisting her and working as an advocate within the community.
So you're
Thank you for
basically
coming
saying
on.
Thank
they
you.
have to do it. They didn't do it. Oh, so the follow-up question on that was, so you're basically saying that they have to do it. If they didn't do it, what would happen to them?
But what happens to them? They can end up violating and end up right back in prison.
Okay, it'd be a violation of their parole. These are
Oh,
things
yeah.
they have to do while on parole.
Yeah.
And if they
Right.
don't do it, everybody doesn't know. I mean, if you haven't not been in that system, I mean, I like to explain things to everybody. People don't,
Yeah.
I don't know what all the mandated programs are. And
Joshua no violated.
Okay.
He from my Joshua acting like he don't know what's going on. I'm not making any joke about it.
It was still a good question because everyone doesn't know. So
Right.
I'm just joking, Josh. I'm just joking, Josh.
And we like to educate people on every topic
Right.
that we're talking about. So
Right.
people leave knowing a little bit more than they knew before. So or
Right.
understanding it at least a little bit better. So
And
my sister, so how long have you been involved in this work?
Oh, for over 2 years.
Okay.
Great.
Excuse me?
What inspired you? What brought you to doing this work? How did you get involved?
Well, essentially being justice impacted myself, I realized the great need for my my sisters and brothers who may not have the support network that I had, right?
Okay.
Coming out, I was fortunate enough to become associated with Miss Matura, and I was able to segue into fully, not even just segue, into participating in the work that she does, which I'm fully committed to.
So that's a beautiful thing. Her work helped you, and then you got into it to continue helping others that were in the situation.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing. That we need more of that. The people that are impacted, those are definitely the boots on the ground we need to help us in those kind of situations.
Exactly.
So now y'all are doing this. Now, what did you call it, Damon? Sleep out. What are y'all doing?
One night sleep out.
Okay. Now, what is that? What does that entail? And what are you trying to do and accomplish with that?
Okay, what the sleep out entails is us being for the night, spend the night outside in the streets, to know what it feels like, to go through the emotions, to know what homeless people are going through, what these youths are facing, the things that they're going through, like not having food, not having toothbrush, not having food, not having anything. And we're actually going to be at the Mount Vernon East Station. That's where we was the last time. It was a little cold the last time, and we did get on the train. So we figured, homeless people do spend time on the train. So we did get on the train. We rode the train up and down. It was great. Yeah. So this time around, we're gonna do things a little bit different. Like we're going out there with, we said we're not gonna go out there with no more than $10 in our pockets, right? We're gonna do a whole 20. I think we're planning on doing like 18 hours this time and going straight through because we really wanna endure what they're going through to see how is it and what we can do to continue to help them.
Good.
Now, is this
Good.
to bring awareness to it? Is this to
Absolutely.
educate other people to it? It gives you further understanding, and the people that do it, what that entails. But bigger than that, what do you want to accomplish through it?
What I want to accomplish, I want people to know that there is a lack of support when it comes to these things. There's trauma behind it, the broken systems, and it's about survival when people are out there in the streets. This could be anyone,
Right.
and if we could stop it at the youth age, we won't have to worry about it escalating to as you get older or end up in your elder days. So these are the things we're here to serve, to help them. So to just bring that awareness, letting people know that this is really going on. It's happening today. It's happening right now as we speak.
Right, right. And let me ask you a question. So when we were talking about homelessness, I saw a report maybe last year or something, and I was shocked at the amount of homeless families that there are in Westchester. Westchester is one of the richest counties in the nation, and they still have a large percentage of homeless. They're still dealing with homeless, and how in your experience and dealing with homeless women and whoever wants to answer the question, how has the response from the county government in actually dealing with this and making sure that we address the homelessness of the children, the homelessness of the women?
Well, I can honestly say dealing with it out there in Westchester, we just started feeding them like last year. And there's people
Mhm.
sleeping under the bridges right there off of Gramerton in Mount Vernon.
Right.
Um, it's tough. I guess the shelters are packed. No one's actually out
Mhm.
there. No one's driving around checking on them. There is no wellness checks on them. And then we wonder why people
Really?
are just dying in the middle of the street. There is no wellness check. Cops drive past them. That's the truth.
Wow.
That's what's really going on. I think the county has made some efforts. Have I seen it? Being honest, no, I haven't seen it.
Right.
But what I have seen is there still a real need for something to be addressed? Absolutely, yes.
Right.
Because it's a struggle to find stable housing, but consistent support isn't there for anyone. It isn't.
Mm.
Ms. R, you want to add anything to that?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a struggle. It truly is. There's enormous waiting lists for everything. Having to be in a shelter and then move around through that. It's difficult, and without a support network, people can easily become discouraged, right? So it's like the system is designed to break you down instead of build you up. So
Wow.
organizations such as the Lilac House and what Sister Matura is doing is so life-giving because you can feel the love. You feel seen, and that is so significant.
Example, I met a mother. So there's a mother that I help out. She's currently in the shelter. Due
Mhm.
to her situation, she lost her apartment. And on top of that, she ends up losing her child, which is 13. And now the
Mm.
child ends up in the system. The child retaliates against the system. And guess what? She becomes homeless. And now she's in the Covenant House.
Yeah.
And the mother's in the shelter. But had
Mm.
had it been taken care of at the space where the mother had the child at home, she lost her job and she couldn't pay for bills and didn't have the support. Had it been taken care of at that level, we wouldn't have to think about now the mother's in the shelter and now the child is in the Covenant
Right.
House.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Where is the breakdown? Is it the city level, county level, or state level?
I would say state level because it's all the same jurisdictions, and at the end of the day, the
Oh, really?
Constitution applies straight across the board.
Hmm.
Because we always look
Okay.
at the city and we look at the counties, right? But at the end of
Right.
the day, it doesn't matter because we still have to follow directives, which is
Right.
state.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right.
I did a bunch of reports a couple of years back on the homeless situation in Westchester. And one of the things that shocked me the most, and I keep bringing this up because many people don't know, you think of homeless people, you have all the negative connotation, you think of homeless people not wanting to do. There are a growing amount of working homeless. They have 9-to-5 jobs and everything. They just don't have a place to live, and they're homeless. And they're going to these shelters and trying to wash up and everything and get to work. And like that number of growing people that work and pay taxes and are homeless is growing and growing. And people don't understand that. They think, people that just got problems with drugs and all these other things, all the negative things you think about. There are people who just lost their homes
Hmm.
and
Let me tell you,
they're
in
still working. Their
Westchester,
kids still go to school. Huh? Yeah, the kids still go to school and they still work, but they're homeless. They don't have a home.
Yeah.
it's about 1,600 people struggling in Westchester. It's 1,000 I believe the last research I did was like 2 weeks ago, was over 1,000 people that are just in emergency shelters. 400 are in transitional housing. About 50 of them don't have a bed at night if they don't make it back in time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going, and that's just Westchester. So can you imagine everywhere else?
Wow.
There was a question I wanted to make sure I get to before I forget it. The question was, do you have a website? I would like to know more so I can help. How can people, if people want to get involved and what y'all are doing and help, how can they, and do you have a website where they can get more information and reach out to you?
So the lilachouse.org. The Lilac House is one word together, .org. So we are the Lilac House.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And if people want to get involved, what can they do? How can they help? If people
like to get involved, we have the flyer, and they're more than welcome to donate because it goes directly to the Covenant House, whatever we can raise for this awareness. And if they'd like, they could join us for the sleep out too as well. They could start a sleep out in their community and their county where they're at as well.
Now, a lot of things have to do with legislation. What can they do about putting pressure on their elected officials on things that can be done on that level? That's something a lot of people can do too. We all vote, and we should be demanding what we should be demanding from our elected officials. What can they do? What should they be calling the elected officials to make a fuss about?
Honestly, let's go sleep in front of their house for that sleep out. I'm serious. I'm really serious about that.
We're going to take it right to the front yard.
Sleep across the street from the mayor's office. Sleep across the street from these buildings. Yeah. Then they see that we're in, we're out there trying to support, we're trying to support this cause. You have to be real about it.
Now, you said the breakdown is on the state level. In a perfect world, what would you like to see the state do more? What can the state do more to help these situations?
What can the state do more? First, recognize that it is an issue.
Okay.
I would love to see more long-term housing solutions, not just temporary shelters, but stable, affordable housing where people can actually rebuild their lives. I'd like to see more support services, things like mental health care, job training, programs that help transition back into independency. It's not just about getting someone off the street. It's about helping them stay off the streets.
Right.
It's easy to get them off the streets, stick them in a shelter, but then don't give them the tools that they need to continue to succeed.
And then they end up back on the street.
Yeah, helping families before this happens, before it gets to that space. If there's a mother and child, the father and child is going through it, that the next step is he's going to end up in a shelter. And there aren't many, I don't believe that there's any men's shelter with child that they can go to in none of these boroughs, unless it's a family shelter. What happens if the mother's no longer alive or incarcerated and he has his child? There's no space for them. The child ends up in the system. The father ends up in the system. There's no help. And, honestly, I think partnership with like community organizations like us, churches as well, would go a long way. Like my church out in Queens, God's Kingdom Ministries International, we do a lot of work. We're out there. We're at these shelters. Miss Renita can speak on it. We're out there. We're feeding. We're doing these things.
Which is true. It's so gratifying to feed them and speak life into them. And because they have, even them and their situations, they have these preconceived notions about justice impacted, what a justice impacted individual looks like, right? So when I tell them that I myself was justice impacted, it's like, you, what did you do? That doesn't matter. It could happen to anybody. And it's a pleasure to be here to service you. I smile so much. At the end of the day, I tell Carmelita my face hurts, because I want them to feel that warmth and that love. Are they feisty at times? Do they get frisky? Yes. But our mission is to speak love into them. So at the end of the day, I can say, whoo, I spoke love all day.
Right.
Does your organization receive any funding from the Westchester Department of Social Services?
I wish we did. Absolutely not. It's been a fight. We've been trying. We have been trying. We have locals that try to help us to get to a better space.
Right.
Trying.
and someone else.
We have to talk to Ken. We got to talk to Ken Jenkins, man. See what he's doing to address the homeless. Get y'all some money so y'all could go out here and continue to do the great work that you do. Whatever we can do for you, let us know. If you have any type of events or you have anything, Denise calls me every day. So
she's amazing. I love her.
Exactly.
Someone spoke on the single father thing. They said, no disrespect, but that's not true. I was a single father and I was homeless, and the Department of Social Services put us in emergency housing. They tried to take my son because I refused the high explosive medication for him. I guess expensive medication for him. But permanent housing was something that the Department of Social Service was not trying to provide. I believe that's what you said. Yeah.
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 Wow. We have to have that conversation in Westchester, because sometimes, it slips away, with all the glitz and gold that Westchester produces. White Plains building all these buildings looking like Manhattan, but regardless of the fact there's a homeless issue that goes, it just goes undiscussed, and I'm glad that your sisters are doing the fight. I'm glad Shanice had y'all come on the show. Whenever y'all can utilize us to get the word out for whatever y'all doing in the future, please let us know, and we'll help y'all out, because that's an issue that really needs, and I'm praying for y'all the next night out, because she invite me all the time. I'm like,
we out this Saturday. Y'all coming?
I'm gonna be right in the house. Y'all definitely be in my prayer.
So I want to.
Andre made it out too.
Huh?
Who?
He came out the last time. He visited us for a little bit.
Andre, he visited y'all, or he stayed all night? Because I know Andre
he visited us, and that's what matters.
Right, he showed up.
He showed up. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Showing up.
Yeah.
So I want to applaud y'all. I want to applaud y'all for what y'all do. I want to thank y'all for coming on. The show is Black Westchester's People Before Politics, and a lot of what we deal with these days right now have been political and politics. And we created this show for segments like this, where we put the people before the politics and show the people that are being affected and the people that are doing the work to help the people out there. And we want to applaud y'all and give you an open door. Anytime you want to come on, you want to discuss an issue, you need to bring attention to any situation that the people need to know about, you definitely have an open door. And and everybody go to their spell out. Some people can't spell. Spell your lilac. Spell it out, please. So
THELILAC house.
Okay.
HOUSE.org.
Okay. Everybody go to that website that can. If you can donate to what they are doing, look at the things the events and stuff they're having, and support. Find out how you can contact them. Find out how you can support. We all have a role to play. Sometimes us doing something small can have a big effect on someone else. So reach out to these sisters and see how you can get involved. And Damon, someone complimented you, said, keep up the good work, DK.
Yo, what up, Strober? What up, Stroby baby? That's Stroby baby.
Okay, I'm glad you know who that is. I don't know who that is.
That's Stroby baby, man.
Okay. Thank you. Anything we didn't ask you?
Oh, we got another man. Oh, Pastor Tony, you kind of late, brother. We about to close out. Hold on a second. I got. We can't lock out the pastor. Hold on a second. I gotta set it up. I gotta change it up a little bit. We gotta let the pastor say something. We was about to close out, Pastor.
Well, I mean, you didn't tell me. You told me one Shanice was coming. You didn't tell me.
No, I knew it was 3, but I only knew Shanice. So I don't know.
Damon
Listen,
did give
man.
us a
You know
head
what
up. My
Shanice,
co-host
you
is
know
not
what
here.
Shanice, you could expect anybody to pop up with me.
Damon just said Shanice was coming, didn't give us a topic, I didn't know what y'all were talking about. Then he's like, here's our guest. And I was like, that's why I had you stop and introduce you and talk about what you do, because I didn't even know what you was on the show to talk about. He ain't tell us. So we're waiting for one more person to get on.
Yeah. I got to set
He be
up the
out in the
screen.
streets with us too when we serving. We just had a resource fair yesterday. He be out there with us. He ain't stepped out.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what's up. That's what's up. Where'd he go? He just disappeared.
Yeah,
Hopefully he come back in.
Okay.
He just got.
Yeah, he did disappear. He just his square just disappeared.
Yeah, hopefully he come back in. I done set up everything. Now he ain't going. Oh, here you go.
He's coming back now. Welcome, Pastor Troy.
Tony.
It said. I'm sorry, Pastor.
Pastor Tony.
I got hip hop in my
head.
I called you Pastor Troy the rapper. I'm sorry, Pastor Troy.
I'm fine with it.
I called you Pastor Troy. My bad. My no disrespect. How you doing, my brother? You a little late to the conversation, but I wanted to give you a chance to definitely speak before we ended it.
Okay. I didn't even know. I heard a little bit about what was going on, but y'all filling me in. Did y'all talk about what's going on out there in the streets, or y'all feeding? What did y'all talk about?
Well, I mean, you can go ahead and add. Yeah, you can go ahead and add, even if you say something that's already been said.
Right.
You know, we try to bring attention to the situation and what y'all are doing, the work y'all are doing.
Oh, okay. Got you. Well, what do we do in a community? We community church. I love the community. I'm from Garborough, 107 in Garborough, and so I sold drugs, got locked up 5 times, and ended up becoming a pastor. And so now what I do now is we work. We a church that work. We go to shelters. We go to the Bronx. We gave out sleeping bags, food.
Okay, connection is not that great, I guess. That's why he keep going in and out. That happens every now and then. I mean, I was appreciating what he was saying. I hope he get back on. But while he did, everybody, I put the website on the screen, so you can definitely go visit the website. It's right there, the correct spelling and everything. Please go support them.
Email for the church too. If anyone wants to reach out when we're out there feeding, we could use hands for volunteering and stuff too. So.
Oh yes, please give it. Yes. So while we I'm again, I didn't prepare for the segment. I didn't know what it was going to be. Outside, I had a whole bunch of questions geared up, so I'm kind of freestyling it with y'all right now. But I know there's more to talk about, and I know we haven't asked all the questions, and y'all haven't spoken on everything y'all need to speak to. So is there anything I didn't ask y'all that y'all want people to know? And Pastor Tony's coming back on now.
Yeah, that's what we do.
All right.
he faded out and came back in. This is what we do. Yeah.
I mean, I love what we do. You gotta love what you do, right? You love being on this talk show. Y'all love what y'all do. You gotta love what you do. You gotta love who you are. And I believe when you're in a perfect space to love what you do, I'm bubbly about this. You know what I mean? I'm bubbly about this conversation, man, because it's not only bringing awareness to what we're doing, it's bringing awareness to the love of God.
Yes.
Abroad, you know, because you can say,
right.
You're doing. I ain't doing nothing but being a hand and an instrument to what God has called all of us to do, is to bring love to everyone, and to whatever platform, whatever degree that we can share love. That's what we ought to do. I think I don't want to preach, but I left out this thing in our message today. I preached on love. God loves us no matter where we are, and no matter where we can find ourselves. His love crosses barriers and sea. It's only human people bring barriers or bring blocks to people, or stumbling block. But when God is saying, look, my arms are wide open to love everyone. Correction, I don't love your sin, but I love you regardless of where you are and who you are. So I have Carmelina on, and Miss R. I got you. These are two of the wonderful individuals that lock arm into the ministry and what we're doing. And Carmelina is a very good help. Miss R is a present help. And so you have two of the most wonderful people on your platform that's able to get things done and to maneuver in spaces and have the love of God. Go ahead, brother.
So two things. For all of you who do celebrate Happy Palm Sunday. Secondly, I thought it was important the way you started out because a lot of times we all have these little youthful indiscretions and stuff. A lot of people do not understand that does not have to be the end of your story. You know what I'm saying? And you're living proof of that. You know what I'm saying? You there is life on the other side, and there are and there is some success on the other side of that. So I think it's important that when you started out your story the way you started it out.
Yeah, I believe that in our lives we go through learning curves. Some take longer to learn, some take longer to stay in those curves, and some say I make up my mind to get out of whatever I was in, and then I don't take it as woe is me. I believe that we are all put through things that I'm able to draw someone closer unto him. God draws us closer in many different ways. Somebody can lose a son, somebody can lose a wife, somebody can lose a child, but that doesn't say he's not in that. It's just say I'm trying to get you closer to me. In our pain, God draws us closer. Even though we're hurting, even though we're upset, even though we are bothered, but I believe God uses ways to let us know that he loves us. And so my pain, my frustration, 5 different force zones going back and forth to jail was probably his way of opening my eyes to say, hey, look, man, slow your road down or it could get worse.
Right. And a lot of people look at things like, oh, that's not my problem. I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
But statistics show what is it, like 59% of Americans are estimated to be one missed paycheck away from homelessness. This could be anybody.
Right.
When I lived in Georgia, we used to go out into the street and go out into those embankments where the homeless was and not just bring them food and clothes, but give them if they wanted to talk, if they wanted prayer, whatever, we would actually be out in the streets with them. And to hear some of these people talk, and I got to know them, some of them used to be like Wall Street dudes. Some of them had like really, really great jobs. Some of them, maybe drugs was an issue, or maybe just the economy and the way, their company went out of business or something, or, just things just right. That could be me. You know what I'm saying? Like at any point, and we don't understand that. We look our nose down sometimes when we see those that are on the street. You know what I'm saying? Realizing a lot of us are one paycheck or more or 2 paychecks away from actually being out there.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like it literally is that. It really and it really is that, and we don't acknowledge that.
Well, that part of being homeless, man, I could say when I was in Philadelphia, I slept in the park.
Right.
I slept in what is that called? Underground, so to say. But it's not getting there, like you said, it's a paycheck away. It could be just your family turning their back on you. It could be anything. It could be the fact that, moving to a new town or I moved to Philly and not knowing people and not knowing the landscape and going through trials and tribulations. It could be alcohol. It could be so much things. But I think when we look our nose down on people, it's like, I don't want to sound too Christian, like, do God look down his nose on us? And so we have to always remember that God does never look his nose down on us. So how can we look our nose down on somebody else? And that's the pinnacle of, like I said again, it's the ministry. It's I'm pulling you up. Let me pull you. Let me do something that's going to help you. And I think it's beyond ministry. I believe it's beyond. It's what is the word called? I want to be able to partner with you to grow our community. Who can better grow our community except for us?
Right.
Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street. We talk about that all the time. Yeah.
Who can grow our community but us? Who can buy houses for us, and who can put people in houses for us? But if we're so busy building cathedrals, that we're so busy looking our nose down or something, like, how can I pick you up?
No, absolutely. And we are God. One of the things God requires for us to be a blessing to someone else.
Right.
Again, it is Sunday, but so a lot of people, they bless, but they don't realize, like, you wasn't worthy of the blessing. Like, you just, God blessed you. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And you did do nothing to earn those blessings. You did not do nothing deserving of those blessings. So how can you look down on someone else who does not have those blessings? That could be you. And you're not blessed for you, so you could be blessed. You blessed so you could be a blessing to someone else. And that's really what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's really what the Bible teaches us. You know what I'm saying? You will be, God blesses you so you can bless others. Not so you can be comfortable sitting and have 3-4 cars and dress nice and, have all the women or have whatever you think is success. That's not what it's about. And a lot of people forget that or don't realize that.
Well, Ruach breath is God breathes in us day by day and morning by morning. And so if he decided to take his breath, you could be in a mansion, 2-bedroom house. You can have everything that you want. But the moment that God says, I'm taking your breath away, what happens then?
Right.
That's what people have to understand. Your breath is a gift. Everything that he does, even when he said, I died on Calvary on the cross, is saying, okay, well, I'm for the forgiveness of our sins. Not that he did anything wrong. It's because I loved you so much that I'm willing to die. Now, we got to look at our brothers and our sisters and say, what am I willing to do to help you not perish? What can I do to pick you up in the mix of whatever you're going through?
Oh, absolutely. My sisters, I don't want y'all to be left out the conversation. Please join in.
No, it's just building a stronger support, just so that people doesn't age out of like foster care systems. They don't age out of everything. So we need a lot of like reentry support out there. We need financial literacy. You need emergency assistance. You need landlord partnerships. You need educations in schools so that the stigma, just to reduce the rates of stigma. So these are the things that are needed. We need spaces to support people leaving unsafe situations. So these things are needed. And what is it? It's a lot of work, not enough hands. Isn't it?
I'm glad you said that. That's another thing, not just the working homeless. A lot of homeless comes from being aged out of those programs and having nothing, and the program's not preparing you for life afterwards. So then you end up homeless or in jail or any combination of the two. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of our homeless as well. And we don't look at those situations. We're not preparing in our community. We don't prepare, especially our youth. We don't prepare our youth for success. Even all our kids are not college bound. We don't prepare them for life. That No Child Left Behind was so they take tests and they pass and you get passed and you get a degree, but they don't prepare you for life afterwards. Like, they don't prepare you for being an adult and for life. You know what I'm saying? They just get you out to schools, and I think that's a problem in our community. Not the lack of training and trades and all that other stuff. Teaching these kids how to be productive citizens of society, that leads to incarceration and homeless, or the combination of the two.
Mm-hmm. So true. And, having the workshops, having everything ready. So we are delivering the workshops on Monday evenings out there in Westchester and Bronxville. So it is happening on our end, but it's getting the word out. People know.
Where are your workshops? You said
so we are having it in the Reformed Church of Bronxville. That's where we have the space in the meantime. And Andre did mention that we could use his center if we need to as well. So we're trying to work on that so we can have another night out there as well. But the homelessness, it is a little bit more in Westchester than it is with the 5 boroughs combined. When you do the combination, you look at the numbers, it is way more homeless people in Westchester than it is in White Plains. I mean, not White Plains, sorry, the 5 boroughs.
And what's crazy about that? Because
and Westchester has way more money, and they're not
right. And I was gonna say, when people in the city be like, "Oh, you live up there where the rich people are. You live up there where all the money is." And Westchester's like one of the wealthiest counties, but they don't acknowledge that there's a big homelessness. There's a big poverty issue. They forget that part of the story when they talk about Westchester.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thank y'all all for what y'all do. And like I said, open door when y'all want to come on and discuss an issue. If you ever, I don't know if any of y'all are writers and you just want to write something, an editorial or something, we'll definitely publish it and continue doing what it is that y'all do.
Yeah, definitely.
Any last words? Again, anything I didn't ask y'all that y'all want everybody to know, or any last words, and give the website again and how people can get involved in the work y'all do again. I'm going to end on that.
Sleep out this Saturday. Whoever wants to join, feel free to. We'll be at Mount Vernon East.
Okay. And again, the website is the lilachouse.org.
Yes.
I will put that up again. And also, that's it right there. And also, if you need to reach out to them, this is their email address right here. And
that's for volunteer works throughout the city that we do at the church, at the shelter, the men's, the women, and the family shelter. Anyone wants to volunteer and help out too as well.
Any last words, Pastor Tony?
Well, it's a pleasure to meet y'all. It's a pleasure to be on this
platform.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Glad that y'all have this platform to bring awareness to what's going on. Like I said again, y'all have commented. She is a great individual who does lock arms with different individuals in different shelters. So keep having these conversations, man. And I believe these conversations are needed, and not only needed, but we need to show up for other people. So let's just keep showing up for people, and keep doing what y'all doing, because this is a great platform to bring the awareness to people who do need help mentally and emotionally and spiritually. So thank you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And Sister Renita, you've been quiet. Any last words? Anything you want to say to the people before you go?
Well, no, everything has pretty much been expressed. And also as a way of becoming more self-actualized, I'm a grant writer, and for the sole purpose of working towards and obtaining funding for the advocacy programs and the things that we do collectively.
Right.
I love the term. Did you say justice impacted instead of formerly incarcerated? Like I love that. I love that term. Like justice impacted. Is that what you said? Did I say it right? Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes we have to words matter. So sometimes we have to rephrase, because formerly incarcerated, there's certain terms that go with that. There's certain, things that go with that. Sometimes we have to change the narrative. We have to change the word, So words do matter. So I love that. I'm a word person. So I just wanted to acknowledge I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Come back anytime y'all want, and be blessed.
All right. God bless.
And I'm gonna try to stop through. You said next Saturday. I'm gonna try to stop by there.
No, this Saturday coming. The night before Easter.
Okay. So today's Sunday. So yes, Saturday coming. Okay. That is next Saturday. But yes, Saturday coming. The night before Easter. Yes. Same thing. I'm gonna try to stop by there. All right.
All right. God
Everybody take care.
God bless. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, that's a powerful segment. I appreciate that. Here, your boy Jack. I didn't read Jack's comment.
Jack, man. Come on, man.
Jack is always trying to every episode. Jack trying to make a love connection, trying to push up on our guests or our co-host or somebody. Yeah. I wanted you to know I seen it though, but I didn't acknowledge it. Yeah.
I ain't got nothing else to talk about, and I'm about to end it right now.
Well, thank you, though.
What is that?
Nothing.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Now words are powerful. Yes, they are. For all that you do celebrate this Holy Week, so bless all of y'all. Happy Palm Sunday, Easter, Good Friday, all that y'all go through.
Easter.
Today's Palm Sunday. Today,
Today's Palm Sunday. That's it. Y'all ain't seeing us next Sunday, so it's a wrap. It's a wrap. We'll be playing the best of Black Westchester next Sunday. If nobody ain't got nothing to do but to look for us. It's going to be, yeah. And tomorrow I have the interview with Annabelle Solar Jr. We're talking about education tomorrow at 8 p.m. It's a good interview. Thanks for Lorraine Lopez hooking that up. What? Are you surprised by but man, listen, let me tell you something.
Shout out to the Yonkers chapter of the Westchester Black Women's Political Caucus for the question.
Now, here's the thing. There's two parts to this. One part is I never knock no man trying to do better, right? But he had to pay his due. If he did what he accused of doing, which led to the death of 2 people.
That we know of.
Right? Well, that they said, right? You have to be accountable. God will make you accountable sooner or later. And that's it. My whole question is, if all this was going down and how they said he lost his other job, allegedly, and all that, how did he become a Mount Vernon cop?
Well, that is a different issue that I'm glad you brought up. Because I read the department statement, and they said that they screened him and everything, and nothing came up, and they're re-examining their screening process. He's not the first person that has been kicked out of another department or fired in another department that has ended up getting a job at Mount Vernon Police Department. So yeah, I think we really need to take serious looks at how y'all screen people. And I have a hard time, and this is from the outside looking in because I'm not law enforcement. I have a hard time that you can't find this information out when everything is on social media, LinkedIn. I know when I go do an interview, they pull all kinds of stuff from me before I do an interview. So how can y'all not find out is that a cop was fired from a different department before you hire him? How do you not know this? How do you not know this situation? And isn't that public record? I mean, how are you not able to find that? Again, I don't move in those circles, but I have a hard time understanding how that's possible. And
right.
and we've had a few come from other departments that got kicked out of other departments that ended up in Mount Vernon Police Department. One ended up in internal affairs. The head of internal affairs, and he was disciplined from another department and arrested. Not arrested. Lost his job, and I don't know how that's possible. So, the process has to. The city has to look at the process of what they're doing before they hire, and they have to evidently do a better job. If what they said this officer did, he should get punished to the full extent of the law. I mean, as an officer, especially as an officer who was hired to protect this community and to do something that puts the community in danger like that, he should be held accountable. I don't know him. I don't know if he's guilty or not. He's alleged, he have to be proven in court and all that. But if he did what they said, he should have the book thrown at him.
Right.
Real talk.
I'm sorry, man. I was responding to let me tell you something. Then I'm going to get off here. So I almost had to sneeze.
God bless you.
There we go. Listen. Our young black people don't read a goddamn thing. Like in a book. Dude just responded to my article that there was only one party back then, just the Democrats. I said, well, who the hell was Abraham Lincoln? What party Abraham Lincoln was in? Ain't he the one that freed the slaves? He was not a Democrat.
And at that time, there were two parties.
Yeah, I already know, dude. You ain't got to look it up.
No. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking
yeah.
to anybody who don't know. At that
Yeah,
time.
there were two parties. No, our young people are being. I don't know what it is. They're being so dumbed down in history, and even our own history. We don't have to worry about the white man wiping out our history. They're doing it themselves. They're making up their own history. They're making up their own history. This is insane. We have to do better as a people. The next 20 years, man, I don't even know what they're going to say. They've slowly, we have allowed our history slowly taken away. And social media has really just pushed it into overdrive.
So for educational purposes, so people don't read, the first president, the person we acknowledge as the first president, George Washington, in his 1796 farewell address, he warned against having political parties. He warned that political parties were dangerous, baneful effects that could destroy America's unity, foster ill-founded jealousies, and lead to foreign influences, riots, and eventually formal and permanent despotism. He believed that they distracted from public duty and favored partisan interests over a national common good. Now, this was the first president said in 1796, and everything we see in 2026 is what he warned against, and I'm not sure why nobody paid attention to what this man said.
I wish I would have known that. I might have to redo my book, Democrats and Republicans, the New Gangbangers, because and put that quote in the front page. I might just put it in the front page because he ain't never lied.
His farewell, and
he ain't never lied.
Wait, and the other thing was, he was so popular he could have ran again. He said, "I did my work. Now it's time for somebody else," and he did not run for re-election.
Yeah, he bounced.
Like you know what I'm saying? But he was so popular, he would have overwhelmingly won the next election. Mm-hmm. But he also recognized that we needed one person, then the next person, and the next person, and one person shouldn't be in too long. We didn't follow. We keep talking about the founding fathers and the Constitution. We do not listen to some of the things that were said.
Yeah, man.
Because he warned against what we're experiencing right now. But anyway, go ahead. I just had to throw that out.
I'm done. I'm tired. I'm done. And thanks everybody for coming, man. Thanks everybody for checking out the show. Check us out tomorrow, 8 p.m. Publisher's Desk. Superintendent.
I might have to come on with that for that one.
Huh? No, it's pre-recorded.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't be there with you on that one. Okay.
Exactly. It's pre-recorded. And what else I had to say? I'm loading up the Jay-Z joint, the Jay-Z video, and check that out. That's gonna be up. Check that out. The Publisher's Desk examining Jay-Z's interview with GQ, and that's it. That's probably it for the week, unless I think I got something else. I don't know, man. That's it. Have a blessed night. Everybody have a Blacktastic Monday. Start off the week being Blacktastic, and we are out of here.
Thank you for watching another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show. Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. We appreciate every single one of you who tuned in, commented, shared the stream, and join the conversation. Your support is the reason independent Black media continues to thrive and speak truth without fear. Every week, we show up to bring clarity, accountability, and real community insight to the stories that matter. And you show up with us. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or X, we want you to know that your voice, your engagement, and your presence make this platform stronger. Thank you for rocking with Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as we break down the issues that many outlets ignore. And thank you for supporting a space where Black thought, Black leadership, and Black truth-telling still matter.